Welcome back, it's Sandy with Sandy's Organized Chaos, and today I will be showing you how I make a non-glittered beach tumbler just in time for summer. So let's get to it. I will be using a Hogg 20-ounce modern curved tumbler today, and for the base I will be using teak wood, mermaid, and pool for alcohol inks. My tumbler is prepped and painted white, and I'm going to be applying teak wood around the bottom of that tumbler just up to where the seam line is. Because this will be under our epoxy, it doesn't have to quite be that perfect. You just want to make sure that all the white is covered with your colors. I also like to come through with my rubbing alcohol, and I just spritz that on and kind of rub it around just a little bit more so it's a little bit more blended in. Here you see me spritzing my brush with my rubbing alcohol. That's so that way I can blend that brown up into the base a little bit more. Now that that's done, I'm going to move on to my blue colors. I just like to use a plate. As you can see, I've had that plate for a while. I'm just going to dab that blue around the tumbler. I'm just going to go around and do the top like this, and then I'm going to come back through with some alcohol ink and spritz that on as well, and continue to just blend in these colors. You can see I was spritzing my brush just to blend everything in. Now I'm going to spritz the actual tumbler itself because I kind of like the bubbles that it makes. I'm just going to go through and make sure that there's no giant blobs anywhere and just kind of tidy it up. Once I am done with that, I am going to give it a nice coat of clear coat, and then I will apply a layer of epoxy over it, just clear epoxy. Now that that is on my turner with a coat of epoxy, I have 3 separate little cups here with some epoxy in it. The first one I put a khaki acrylic paint for the sand. The second one I'll put a white acrylic paint along with some alcohol ink white. And then the third cup I will be putting a cobalt blue acrylic paint. I'm just going to make sure that I mix those up really well, and we'll be ready to move on to our second step. My tumbler is on the turner. I am going to put down the sand part first. I just kind of like to layer that on really well. Just make sure you hit the bottom, sides. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's why we did the base coat the way that we did. So that way if that did show through, it would just kind of give it a little bit more dimension, a little bit more depth to it. I guess my boy Sunny there wanted to be in the shot, so that's my dog. Now I'm going to use those same alcohol inks that I used earlier for the base, and I'm going to dab those around the tumbler. Now I'm going to take my cobalt blue and I'm going to layer that on to my tumbler as well. Now I will take that white mixture that we made up and I will place that around the tumbler. You can see I just kind of make streaks around the tumbler with it. I know it, it looks a little crazy right now, but once you hit it with that heat gun, it'll all start to come together. I'm going to take my fancy heat gun here, and I'm going to just touch that epoxy until it starts to move. I like to go a couple swipes up, and then I'll take my heat gun and I will make a couple swipes down, just so that way everything kind of moves around and mixes together really well. Now, just like in my glittered beach tumbler tutorial, if you haven't seen that, you should check it out. I am going to take that white and I'm going to come through again, and I'm going to touch up those waves. just like before, I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to go a couple swipes up and a couple swipes down just to kind of blend everything together again. I'm going to take that same white and I added a little extra of the acrylic white paint and a little extra of that white alcohol ink, and I'm just going to come through and touch up everything. The white that we're adding here does not get hit with that heat gun again. Don't be afraid to go down into the sand portion with your white. It just gives it a little bit more character. A lot of work, a lot of effort that goes into these. This is a walking art piece. I like to let mine sit for about a half an hour, and then I'm going to come back through and I'm going to hit it again with that white. As your epoxy hardens, that white and blue will mix together and will look even more like that beach scene that you are after. After this has dried, I like to come back through and put one more coat of epoxy, and then it will be ready to add any name or quote that you would like. I hope you guys have fun this summer making these. Don't forget to check out my channel for more summertime fun, and I will see you guys next time.